Okay. Phone is away. Attention is somewhat on. I might get distracted.
ADHD brain.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this thing. Hello, cinephiles, and welcome to Silver Screen Sips, a podcast where two idiots talk about movies. And I didn't update this. This is awkward.
Unprepared once again.
Hello, cinephiles, and welcome to Silver Screen Sips, a podcast. Okay, that was way too chipper. Whoa.
Yeah, you need to take it down a notch. You're too enthusiastic, okay?
Okay. So,
we're
guys,
depressed here, okay?
Welcome to Silver Screen Sips, I guess. It's a
That's
podcast
more like it.
where, yeah. Okay. Hey, guys, welcome to the podcast. What is this podcast, you might ask? Well, it's a podcast. Sorry. I was trying to. That's what happens when I ad lib. Okay. Fucking hell. Let's try this for the fifth time. Hello. Did that really get you?
It's just a hello. I feel like I'm about to have like a very serious conversation with a therapist and be like, so I've heard you've done some things.
Sit down. We need to talk. Have a seat.
So we need to talk about the murder.
So I really would like to go back to what you just said.
So your childhood trauma. Let's talk about your mom.
Yeah. So you said you had daddy issues. What did you mean by that? All right. We're already getting sidetracked. Hey, guys. Hey, cinephiles. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Silver Screen Sips, podcast where two idiots talk about movies. And today we are talking about the 2013 movie, The Purge. Not The Purge. Not the first Purge. But the actual first Purge that ever came out in the theaters. Just a reminder, there are spoilers ahead for movies and TV shows that you might not have seen yet. So just know you've been warned. And we're going to spoil everything. So hopefully you've seen everything.
Or not.
Or not.
They're about to.
Yeah. On that note, we're going to hop into our first segment, starting off with
okay.
This week in Hollywood. How's that? Sound like, you know, like the transatlantic accent?
Yeah.
How would I do that? You see, darling, this is This Week in Hollywood.
It has to include the word darling every time.
Yeah. See here, honey.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
Enough cringe.
The new Japanese film Godzilla Minus One has shattered records in the Japanese box office with the largest IMAX debut for a live-action film ever in Japan. The film pays homage to the origins of Godzilla, dialing the clock back to post-World War II and exploring the aftermath of the atomic devastation. The results speak for themselves with a staggering 1.2 million hauled in the modest count of 49 IMAX screens. Only 49. Yeah. Only 49. That's for an entire country.
That's incredible.
I don't even know how many IMAX screens are in United States. But
you know who does know?
Who? IMAX?
Google.
Oh,
yeah.
How many IMAX?
Literally. Holy shit. The world's largest IMAX screen is in Germany, and it measures 125 by 72 feet. Damn!
I would love to see a movie. Can you imagine watching Oppenheimer on that? Do you know? Do you know? You can feel it. Anyway,
yeah.
Talk to me about Daisy Ridley.
So, Daisy Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
She's starring in a new movie called The Marsh's. Yeah, it's called The Marsh's King's Daughter. It's based off the award-winning novel of the same name. Go figure. However, Ridley's film can't even crack the top 10 in the box office, earning less than $1 million on its opening weekend.
That's
damn.
Rough.
That is really rough.
My mom literally he came back. I don't know. Let's ask. Mom!
Everyone, meet Isaiah's mom. Mama Isaiah.
Time constraint. Let's go.
We're live.
We're live. Question. We're talking about the King of Marsh's daughter. What do you think of it?
I like the movie because she had to really deal with being a monster because he was her hero, but at the same time she
was her hero.
Father.
Oh.
The Marsh King.
The Marsh King.
Yeah.
The Marsh King.
Come on, Isaiah. Stick with the program here.
You could tell that she's dealing with these conflicting feelings.
Out of 5.
Okay. Well, I didn't even.
He gives it a 4. A 4 out of 5.
A 4. Wow. You heard it here first, folks. Isaiah, you're out. Your mom's in.
She likes the relation. Thank you. She likes the relationship issues between the daughter and the father.
Interesting.
And she likes the different perspectives that they go through. Okay, so it kind of plays on the memories of like what you thought you saw as a child versus what actually happened. Interesting. Okay. So 4 out of 5. Go see it if you haven't, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I love Daisy Ridley, so I might see it eventually when it comes onto streaming or something. So it remains to be seen if Ridley can lead a movie that's unattached to a larger franchise, Star Wars. But for the time being, this title does not seem to be breaking the mold. And from what I saw after Chaos Walking, it's not looking so bright for her.
Tom Holland was in Chaos Walk. I didn't even know. How did anybody get attached to that project? That's what I like to know.
I don't know. I feel bad. I mean, she was in Murder on the Orient Express, but that was like during Star Wars. And that wasn't terrible. That's just like a murder mystery that it's pretty hard to mess those up.
Actually, we'll get to that. When we do our Agatha Christie series, we will definitely. Because we have to do the Poirot movie, because that's basically a trilogy. Is Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and The Haunting in Venice.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about a lot of money.
Yeah, Oppenheimer, we thought it was over. It's not. It's coming back into theaters. Just like the atomic bomb. I'm Steve. Back into the just like the atomic bomb into the minds of the American people.
There you go.
Yeah, the film has reached a new box office milestone for IMAX movies, earning nearly $1 billion worldwide. It has become the fourth highest grossing IMAX release internationally, and is just behind Avatar: The Way of Water, Avengers: Endgame, and the first Avatar, which is crazy. Also, they are bringing it back for 1 week to go watch it in IMAX again. So if you're one of those IMAX theaters, better go hit it up.
Yeah, I was wondering why you said it's coming back. Now I know. Okay, now let's talk about an upcoming movie, just to keep on your radar. Saoirse Ronan is set to star in a new satirical thriller called Bad Apples. The film finds Ronan as Maria, a primary school teacher, doing her best to inspire a class of 10-year-olds, but unable to because of one unruly and chaotic student. The plan is to shoot the movie this coming spring, and I don't believe there is a premiere date just yet.
In a recent appearance on the YouTube series Hot Ones,
great,
skateboarder Tony Hawk revealed his planned sequel. Man, if you don't know who Tony Hawk is, I don't know how to tell you, bro.
Joking.
He's revealed of why his planned sequel, Skate Jam, never happened. Skate Jam would have followed a similar plot to Space Jam, with the Looney Tunes turning to Tony Hawk for help and skateboarding advice. Hawk and the Looney Tunes were all set to team up and begin filming right after the skateboarder had completed another project, but alas, due to the failure of Back in Action, another Looney Tunes films. But Skate Jam never happened in fear that it was also going to not do well. And, after watching the other movie, I can see why.
Well, because I believe Back in Action was supposed to like reintroduce the Looney Tunes, right? Like back into the world kind of a thing. Or not back into the world, but like back into the movie industry and stuff. So like when that didn't do good, they're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
Wouldn't surprise me. Though Brendan Fraser is in it, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb humor. Like, it is very stupid.
Honestly, I would have watched Skate Jam. I watched Space Jam.
But we will not watch Space Jam 2, for the love of God.
No, we don't even talk about Space Jam 2.
I'm not trying to watch 90 minutes of ads. I would just lower my tier in Netflix to do that.
Ooh. We've got the last headline. So back in 2014, the hit cult horror film It Follows, which I never saw and I really need to.
Yes, the SCD ghost.
Yes. The film premiered, and now they're making a sequel, and it is set to star, how do you say her name?
Micah Monroe.
Micah Monroe. I hope that's correct. It's set to star her yet again. So the production company Neon is selling distribution rights to the movie at this year's American Film Market, with David Robert Mitchell, the writer and director from the first film, aiming to kick off shooting next year. So I think I really should watch it. Also, I find it really funny that the sequel is called They Follow.
You're telling me that I now have more STDs.
Yes, there's more than one.
There's more than one. And don't worry, guys. No, you don't just have crabs. Now you have herpes too.
Oh God. See, I was going the oral and rectal route, but maybe that's far. Maybe I should shut up. Sometimes I've said this at work many times. Sometimes I just don't think before I speak.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's clear. It's very clear.
Yeah. And sometimes because of that reason, sometimes some of the shit I say is hilarious, but then other times it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You should really think before you say
That's
something.
why I cannot be a politician. Well, actually, that's exactly why I could be a politician.
I think recent years have proven
have really proven, yeah. Okay. Well, that concludes This Week in Hollywood. You can find all of our sources cited in our Discord channel. That was a long segment just because, sorry, we got distracted.
ADHD brain, told you.
Whoop, whoop. All right. Now we're moving on to Big Lou's Big Brews with none other than No, I'm just kidding. It's just me, guys. I'm sorry. Lewis is never coming back.
Disappointment!
He's the reason I have abandonment issues.
I thought he was the reason you have drinking issues.
That too. That leads to the other. Joking. So, you got your glass? Okay. Today we are going to be talking about the Purge Cocktail. Clever name.
Clever girl.
The recipe and the article was written by Oliver Walkie. That is the man who created the drink. So we will be crediting him today. Thank you, Oliver. What a great name. So here are the ingredients. By the way, we are going to be converting from milliliters to ounces.
How tall is this drink?
Yeah, we're going to be converted. We had to convert it from milliliters to ounces. So because of that, some of it got rounded up. But it's not by a lot. So your proportions will be fine. So we're going to start off with 3.5 ounces of English sparkling wine. The one that's featured in this specific cocktail is Bradstock Estate Rosé.
Ooh.
Then we have 0.75 ounces of Pinkster raspberry gin. Then we have a dash of mixed herbs. And for garnish, we have raspberries, blackberries, and thyme to make a nice, pretty drink. So here's how to make it. We start off by adding the 0.75 ounces of Pinkster raspberry gin into the glass. Then we top it off with 3.5 ounces of the English sparkling wine. We sprinkle in the mixed herbs as we'd like, so you can add more or less. We garnish the glass with the berries and thyme display. And then you serve and enjoy. And then, of course, as always, we do put all of our drinks and sources in our Discord channel, so you can learn more about some of these ingredients and their origins in the source article that we link to our Discord channel, including the creation of the Pinkster raspberry gin, if you're interested in that as well. But that's a drink.
This is a very fancy drink. Very fancy. Very posh.
Indeed,
Distinguished gentleman.
Look at this distinguished gentleman. Yes.
He has a gun.
Why was that funny? I don't know why
He's
I laughed
trying
at
to break into my home.
Oh, good.
I don't know. It's very fancy. I think it's probably going to taste very fruity. I don't know what sparkling wine. I don't think I've ever
rosé.
I don't think I've ever had a rosé. I think raspberry gin is going to taste real good. I don't know how I feel about the herbs.
The herbs.
The herbs. Hey Herb, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the herbs.
I think, well, again, like they said, you can garnish it or you can sprinkle in as much as you'd like. So you could put literally like the tiniest amount if you wanted to.
I think depending on the amount of herbs, it will flow between a 3.5 and a 4.5. So I will go down the middle, 4 out of 5.
Okay, 4.5. Wow, that's higher than I was expecting.
I want to try some raspberry gin. I think that would taste really good.
I'm also intrigued by the raspberry gin. I think I also would give it like I think I'll give it a 4. Because now that I've had gin a couple times, I feel like the cocktails I've had with gin have just not been my thing. And so therefore my opinion on gin is not great.
Yeah, I don't know. Gin is a very hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
But
the fact that it's very like fruity might make it a little bit better. So I'll give it a 4. Thank you, Lewis. We appreciate it as always.
He should have found a drink, right? That was very disgusting. Call it the Purge because it purges your bowels.
That is called a cement mixer, my friend.
That is true. Or the New Jersey Turnpike.
Jeez, yeah. Yikes.
For those of you who don't know what a New Jersey Turnpike is, prepare your stomachs. It is a mixture. It is hell, but it's also the mixture of every single leftover drink, I believe, at a bar, mixed with the ringed out rag that is used to clean the bar top.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was the mats, the rubber mats that catch all the liquid. I thought they poured that into the cup.
That might be it too. That might be a version. That might be like the New Jersey
different
Highway.
Versions. Ugh, that's disgusting. That's something you give someone on their 21st birthday, and that is it.
That's how you get arrested for biological warfare.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you hate someone at a bar, you send them that drink. And then they think you love them and they're like, hey, and then they take it and then you watch. Cement mixer, I think, is no, you could do that too.
Give that.
Which, if anyone is curious what a cement mixer is, it's basically just Bailey's or like Irish cream and lime juice. But since it's a cream and then the acidic thing, it curdles. So you're supposed to, I mean, ideally in a perfect world, you can down it and you'll be fine. But if it starts to curdle, like if they hand it to you after it's curdled, you're probably going to puke.
You have to do it. You have to like do it immediately. It's like a 5. You have to do it within like a second.
Yeah,
otherwise,
and no one does.
You are not having a good time.
Yeah. All right.
Onward.
Thank you, Luce. Speaking of alcohol, Isaiah.
If you'd like to have a better time than drinking a cement mixer or a New Jersey Turnpike, you can go to our sponsor, Shaker and Spoon. Woo! It is a monthly subscription service that gives you bar quality recipes and ingredients designed by award-winning mixologists. Their latest box, Bourbon.
Nice.
Yeah, nailed it. Features amazing cocktails, recipes for bourbon lovers, aka Beth, with an autumn touch. If you'd like your very own box to drink along with us, then head on over to shakerandspoon.com and use the promo code SIPS10 to get $10 off your first subscription. Again, that's promo code SIPS10 to get $10 off.
Whoa.
Woo!
Can't wait for their Christmas one.
Not so burn.
Yeah. Now, Isaiah, I have a question for you today for Beth's question of the day.
Really?
Yeah. So we asked last episode, we asked, do you think you'd survive the first purge, right? Yes. So you've survived. Let's just say you survived. Okay. Whew. Thank God.
The question is, am I going to work the day after the purge?
No.
No.
Yeah. What if you just like, okay, hold on. Hear me out. The purge happens, right? Yeah. What if you just like pretend you died?
If
like
I fake my death during the purge, is it legal the rest of the year?
Oh, shit.
Can you charge me with a crime?
Real question. Is that a crime to fake your... Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm sure the IRS would like to know why you're not paying your taxes.
Fair enough. Damn IRS. Anyways. So, yeah, let's say...
I paid my taxes.
Yes. So let's say you survived the first ever purge, right? Next year rolls by. You're confident you're going to survive, right? You're like, all right, I'm fine. I'll be good.
Confidence is key. Yes.
Let's say you've had a little change of heart and you're like, you know what? I'm going to partake tonight.
I'm going to cleanse my soul.
What crime would you commit on purge night?
Arson.
No judgments. Well, there's a couple that I would actually be very concerned if you said it.
Yeah.
But there's, for the most part, I think, just what would you do?
Tax evasion. Just kidding.
Yeah, let's just throw that in so the IRS really thinks, oh man, he does his taxes. If anyone's listening.
I am not Wesley Snipes.
No.
No. Maybe, no. A little arson. I got a few places that might do better if they weren't here anymore.
Wow.
Um,
A lot more hateful than I was expecting.
hateful. Yeah, no, there's a few.
Mine was like a fun one. That's kind of what I thought you would go towards.
You're gonna go play some pranks on some people, like
No. I would. So, like, personally, I would go steal a bunch of shit.
That too. I'd rob a bank. Like, why not?
Yeah, like I'd go like do something like that where it's like, hey, this is gonna like affect me after the purge is over still because I'll have this shit.
Can you
like,
arrest? Now, I say you steal like $1 million. You steal $1 million on purge night. The crime of stealing is now legal, right? So you can legally steal that.
Yeah.
However, possession of a stolen product.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Arrested for that. Like, you're like, hey, that's stolen. Well, I stole it during purge night. Okay, well, it's still possession of a stolen product.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little tricky. I wonder if they count it or not.
You know what? I would.
If they don't count it, then I will definitely steal shit. Like I would go like get the most expensive shit.
Yeah, brand new TV, brand new stereo system.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking like grand piano. I don't know how I'd fucking move it, but I'd get one. Get a truck to move the piano. I don't know where I
put it in my house, but I'm gonna have one.
I don't know how I'll get it up the stairs, but I'll do it.
Yeah, definitely rob a bank or I'm getting some money, that's for sure, or some nice things. Because why not?
Yeah, I feel like none of mine would be like harmful towards people. It'd just be like like pretty mediocre. Like I'd be like, I would vandalize. Like I would love to just go somewhere and just like smash a bunch of shit up. Like go to like a TV store and just break all the TVs. That sounds like a rage room.
After I've stolen one, okay, don't bring.
Yeah.
The world becomes your rage room.
This is all hypothetical, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. We would never actually do this unless
Purge.
The purge.
Anyway, legal disclaimer: this is all hypothetical and will not happen.
Oh, you know what? Another thing I would do.
Okay, this is also hypothetical.
Speed on the highway. Like I would go as fast as I could on that fucking thing. Blast my music. Just feel alive. Yeah.
You know what? That's true. There's nobody on the road. Like who else is on the road?
A lot of people probably also think the same idea.
You know what? Actually, it would be a Facebook group called the Purge Motorcycle Club.
Oh my God.
Right? Okay. So you get a bunch of guys with a bunch of motorcycles, right? And what you guys are going to do is you're going to do that annoying thing where like 1,000 motorcycles all get together and just drive down the highway and then block it all, except no one else is on the road, so you won't be annoying. So you'll break the law, but you also won't be annoying anybody. So it'll be like the most positive illegal thing you can do.
Yes.
You're just vibing with your friends, doing 150 down the highway, and you're not disturbing anybody.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Love it. I would probably also kill someone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Joking. But yeah, I think I definitely would do those things. I don't know I think that would be all I would really do. Okay.
Yeah, we're selfish.
What would you guys do? Well, maybe I don't want to know.
Yeah, we will not be asking that. Any answers to said question will be considered satirical.
Yes. I would tell my mom on you.
You don't want to piss off her mom.
No. All right. Well, that was my question of the day. Thank you for partaking in the purge.
New founding fathers. Thank you.
Now, before we started recording, Isaiah was telling me a little bit about these facts that he's about to share.
Yeah. I was mad.
Or lack thereof, I guess. Yeah. Let's get factual.
Yeah, let's get factual. But like I was telling Beth before we started the show, that I spent a lot of time trying to get facts. The problem is that I like to make sure that they are factual, they are real, that someone didn't just type in on the IMDb page that this happened and then there's no proof of it anywhere. And I've looked through like a bunch of articles behind the scenes and stuff. So like there's a lot of things that are like, oh, this happened. And I'm like, cool. Did it? So I don't know. So I couldn't I like to back them up. I like the sources. So James DeMonaco, he is the writer and director of The Purge. He wrote all of them, but he directed most of them. But he did write and direct this one specifically. And it was produced by him as well. The idea for The Purge is partially inspired based on a comment from his wife after a road rage incident where they were both they were on the they were in New York. I think it was like the Buffalo Freeway or something. And they were driving, and there was a drunk driver, and nearly like drove them off the road, and he basically almost killed them. Right. So they got out of their cars, and the drunk driver was so just abhorrent, and they got into it, and him and DeMonico got into a fight, and basically the guy was like very unremorseful. It was basically like, I don't care if I killed you guys, kind of like that vibe. And so so his wife, DeMonico's wife, was just super pissed off and just made a half-assed comment saying, "What if we got one free one a year?"
Oh my God.
It's like, damn. And so and that idea, I guess, just kind of stuck with him for a while. So then eventually he wrote which is one of the reasons why he wrote this script, of being like, what if it was just legal for a while?
Interesting. I'd like to dive more into his
psyche.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things saying that he was obsessed with Charles Manson.
Oh boy.
He did say apparently there's also a rumor that apparently the British, the gang, the people that show up in this movie are inspired
British?
by. Well, apparently they're supposed to be British because they have like the crests and they're posh and stuff, I guess. They're apparently supposed to be inspired by Charles Manson because they're like the Manson family, I guess. The idea, I can see it if it's true. That's probably true.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I just wish they had accents that would make them seem more British.
I know. The British thing, I'm not sure if that's true, but the Manson thing kind of seems to line up.
Yeah, especially with like the girls that are like kind of all over him.
Yeah. Now DeMonico and Sebastian Lemessier, I think his name is. It's very, super French. I think. Lemessier. So they recalled initially that experiencing negative feedback while seeking funding for the script, being told that it was too un-American, which is very ironic given where the series goes.
Yeah.
Due to its themes of violence and gun control.
Interesting.
So Jason Blum, representing Universal at the time, was tasked with developing low-cost genre films for the studio, which is where like Blumhouse comes from. So
yeah,
he then provided DeMonico and Lemessier $3 million in funding to produce the film. So this is a very low budget, which it kind of shows. It is a very low budget movie, but it's supposed to be a genre film. So
not low budget to us, but to Hollywood, yes.
So yeah, I'm sure if you got $3 million lying around, you could do this too.
Yeah.
Now, the film was shot in Los Angeles. However, due to the relatively low budget of the film, it resulted in the setting being shot entirely in the house. So that's why it only specifically happens in the house, because obviously the budget constraints.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke joined on the project with a agreed sign-on bonus of $10,000 up front for his involvement. That's it. He got $10,000 just to show up.
Damn.
However, he was very dedicated to the project. He actually ended up sleeping on Jason Blum's couch during the entire course of filming, which took over the course of 19 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Ethan Hawke was just sleeping on Blum's couch the whole time. We call Ethan Hawke. He likes to do a lot of indie projects. I will give him. He's kind of dedicated to it.
Yeah,
him and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Hawke later ended up making $2 million in back-end compensation due to the franchise, due to the movie.
Jeez.
So he definitely made some money.
That was
a good investment.
Yeah.
So now, DeMonico and Lemessier were initially unsure if the film would ultimately be released given mediocre screen testings. Though DeMonico also noted that Black and Latino test audiences responded positively to the film, which he credited to the film's themes, which is where I guess he was going for. DeMonico also encountered testing response cards from viewers who expressed approval for the concept of the Purge, which he found very disturbing.
That is disturbing. But yeah. I think almost... Here's the thing. Everyone likes the idea, but when you really think about like what would actually happen, then it's like, no way.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but also...
But what I want to do is not nearly as bad as what other people want to do.
Yeah, like I would, what do you call it? I would like to steal a TV, and then that person would like to commit mass genocide. Like it's not
exactly, yeah.
Not good. He did think he was antithetical to the film's message because that's the idea is that that's what we want to avoid. No, this is not something that should be approved or like something that should come to concept because that's like insane.
Yeah.
Side note. Also found out Platinum Dunes, which is one of the producers for this movie, is why you see their logo in the beginning, is owned by Michael Bay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so every time you see you see Platinum Dunes, the logo before a movie, it's because Michael Bay is involved in the project. Well, because he hesitated, so I doubt he is not approving things.
There was like not a single explosion in this one. Not nearly as much as the first Purge.
You're right.
Which is shocking.
I think he just kind of threw some money at it. I
Yeah.
don't think he was really making any decisions, but he probably did say like, that's a good idea. Here, take my money. Which I guess was a good idea because they made a lot of money off this franchise.
Oh yeah.
So now we have a lawsuit.
Oh fuck yeah.
I love me a lawsuit. Okay. So in 2015, a man named Dula Jordan Bennell, it might be Douglas. I might have meant to say Douglas. So Douglas Jordan Bennell sued DeMonico. Dula Amaglata. He sued DeMonico and I believe Platinum Dunes and the studios, whatever, alleging that they had stolen his idea for The Purge from his script called Settling Day, where he had submitted a script to Universal based on there's like a script program they have where they, you can submit a script to pay you for it and stuff like that. And then you would, I guess, according to the contract that he had signed, he would get money based on any projects that stemmed from his script. Therefore, he felt that he should have received money or compensation relating to the Purge franchise based on the fact that his idea in Settling Day of a concept of where crime is legal for a certain amount of time stems from his script and not DeMonico's. Therefore, he should be paid for it. It even got so heated that apparently there was allegations of evidence tampering thrown into the mix there.
Whoa.
Where an argument was that DeMonico had altered timestamps on emails and files in order to say that he had came up with the idea before Jordan Bennell.
How would he? Okay.
Eventually, the court said, we're not going to ask for any more emails. We're going to ask for the original files of the scripts, like the first final drafts. We want the original files. And there was like a thing about how DeMonico's computer had failed and like crashed, and he had to download the files from his email in 2009, and that's why the timestamps are all off because it's not from the original computer it was on; it's from a download he had to send to his lawyers. Is that true? Who knows? I don't know. All I know is the court said it doesn't count, or that we're not gonna get into that any further. However, the outcome of said lawsuit is that the idea was later thrown out, and the lawsuit after 4 years was dropped. No one really knows. Yeah, no one really knows what the outcome was, like who won. But it is said that the lawsuit was dropped with prejudice, which means that it cannot be sued for again if anything comes up in the future. No one can ask for any gains. It kind of seems like the case was proven that DeMonico did come up with the idea at the same time. Therefore, there is no case, and everybody kind of just. It is what it is. It kind of seems like that's what the outcome was, but no one knows for sure because it was all in closed court.
Damn.
Yeah. Now for our final fact, and this one's creepy. In 2020, the city of Crowley, I believe Louisiana, it says LA. I think it's not LA like Los Angeles. I think it's Louisiana. They had recently instituted a curfew to help curb the spread of COVID-19. So at 9 p.m., a police siren would go off from the city's police department to signal the effect of a 9 p.m. curfew. However, the curfew siren happened to be very, very and extremely similar to the siren that starts the annual Purge. And everybody thought that was
I would shit my pants.
And I do have a video of the siren being played. You can hear it very quietly in the background, and it's very reminiscent. It definitely
Can you throw that in the show notes?
Yes, it will be in the show notes. Let me just put it.
I want to listen to it real quick. Let me see this shit.
It sounds. If it's not the same damn file, I don't know what it is because it sounds exactly the same.
Oh my god, it sounds exactly like it. Oh, that gives me chills. I hate. My biggest fear, and the only kind of siren so my biggest fear is hearing a siren like that, like
in general. Like
no. like the closest I've gotten is like when there's like a thunderstorm and you're on
the national
field.
Broadcasting.
No, and you're on a field and there's thunderstorm alarms.
Never heard of that.
Oh really? It was mainly when there's lightning and stuff that they would go off. Like it was mainly near parks and stuff like with big fields because it's like you need to get off the field because there's a lightning in this area kind of thing, and the alarm would go off. But that kind of thing where it's like a broadcasted alarm outside. That gives me chills. That, so eerie and creepy.
Have you ever watched those national alarm videos from different countries?
Yes, dude.
Some of them are
Some of
hilarious.
them are crazy.
I think
I got to rewatch it. Let's throw that in the show notes too.
Oh, the national.
All the different alarms. There's like timestamps where people are like, "This is the scariest."
Some of them, it's funny because some of them would be like, "Oh my god, that's terrifying," and then other ones would be like, "Oh, who started the club?
Super
Huh?
light and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're starting a rave. Let's go."
I just want to quickly watch it, or a couple of them. Okay, America, Israel. Oh, Israel's terrifying.
Yeah, those are crazy. I don't know.
India sounds like the beginning of a pixel video game, like fucking Mario.
Oh yeah, that is the final fact today.
Well, thank you, Isaiah.
We're not welcome.
I guess we should talk about the movie.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Since I kind of last episode explained what this movie's about, or explained what the first Purge was about, why don't you try to explain what this one's about?
So we got a family in a house.
What were they called? The Sandins?
The Sandins. Yeah, we got a family.
Sandin family.
The Sandin family in. It doesn't sound like Manson at all. The Sandin family hanging out in a house in LA during the Purge night, in which the son opens up the house and he sees a homeless person. Yeah, we'll get to that. The son ends up opening the house, lowering the security in the middle of the Purge to let a homeless man into the house because he was being chased by a gang of white college kids, to be honest with you. And they are like, yeah, give us the homeless guy or we're going to break in and kill you too. And they do, to a degree.
Yeah.
And that's the plot. Very simple. And we can get into it because it's just not a lot. I mean, there's a lot to say, but there's not a lot going on.
Well, yeah, there a lot of other shit goes down that is not necessary to the overall story arc, like the boyfriend that is like the first 10 minutes of the story and then you completely forget about him.
Like, all right.
Exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole premise. It's just that.
Crime is legal for 12 hours. I don't know if you've never heard of the Purge before.
Yeah, what's the age? What's the time difference between this and the first Purge? I forget.
This takes place in 2022. The first one takes place in 2016, 2017.
That's wild. 2022 is last year, and this movie came out in 2013. That's crazy. And the first one was what?
2018.
Okay. All right. So 4 years. So at this point, people kind of have it down to a T. It's routine at this point. But
so I think the first half of the movie, I say, is very mundane dialogue with mostly nothing of importance said. Most of the time, I think the entire start of the movie is just Ethan Hawke's character just kind of just driving around talking to people.
I made it on top. I'm like, such a generic thing to say. He's like, I made it to the top. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of just things need to be said to be said.
Yeah. Also, you mean to tell me you didn't like the I love you growl part in the beginning?
I will give it was a unique thing. And if it wasn't in this movie and it was written for a situation for that to make sense, I would probably let it go. But because
it didn't make you cringe up.
No, it's cringe. But it's even cringier because it's in this type of movie.
Yeah.
Like if it was in a romantic comedy like thing, I'd be like, oh, I can let it go because it's supposed to be cringe. I'm going to expect something stupid like that. That is just a line I was like, what the hell?
Not in a thriller. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I think even the jump scares in this movie are really, really sad. I thought they were like,
oh pathetic. My God, they're super jump scary. Like they're not.
The kid hanging out behind the refrigerator door.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
It was executed poorly. It was just sad and pathetic. Like, how do you mess that up?
They're just super cliche, yeah. Super like predictable with them.
I think every person in this movie makes the most terrible decision possible, and it's like terrible by horror movie person standard. Like a character in a horror movie is not going to make a decision that's going to like benefit themselves in any way possible.
Right, because then you wouldn't have a movie.
Exactly. However, they take it to a whole new level in this movie. No one acts at a level that is in self-preservation in any way, and they mask every single decision as if that's why. Like Ethan Hawke's character is actually kind of like he's an idiot, but he's also like the smartest person in the room somehow.
Which is saying a lot. Like my biggest gripe, because I also thought everyone was really fucking stupid. My biggest issue with the whole movie, because it doesn't just happen once, it happens multiple times, is the fucking daughter.
Oh, God.
Just like leaving in the middle, like especially in the beginning in the movie when shit actually goes down and like the homeless guy's in the house, her boyfriend gets shot, her family is freaking out, and instead of her mom being like, there's a stranger in the house, he might be dangerous, like you have to stay with us, there's crazy people outside, she's just like, I'm going to go sulk about my boyfriend that tried to kill my father.
Murder my dad. Yeah, like what?
It's like, what the fuck? Why are you doing that?
She just disappears because the plot wants her to.
Yeah,
runs away for no damn reason.
So like, we have no like lines for her, so let's just get rid of her.
The son is just an idiot. First off, you don't like. I understand. It's like, oh well, he doesn't realize. You know, he's got like a moral dilemma of being like, well, why are we doing this? But then also like, there's a level of, well, even in this day and age when the purge isn't a thing, I would not let a stranger into my home being covered in blood getting chased by a gang. Like, why would you do that?
It's also super contradictory because it's like he is made out to be this fucking genius who made this like remote control camera device thing that he drives throughout the whole house. Like he's this fucking genius of a kid, but then he's stupid and makes this decision. I was like,
and
what?
also checks his heart rate.
Oh my God, nerd.
Yeah, like he got like really panicked at dinner because he was trying to check his heart rate because he forgot to check his heart rate. And then that never comes up ever again.
Yeah. It was just to like be like, yeah, dad died. It's like, oh yeah, you didn't need a fucking heart monitor to know that. He got stabbed with a machete. Like, oh, I don't think that was a crucial point of the plot there.
No, yeah, we know he's covered in blood and he's not moving. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a lot of things that are just manufactured conflict, which is, I hate when they do that. I hate manufactured conflict. So stupid. This specifically the scene that I think sums up how stupid this is when the daughter shows up and the mom in the hallway, right? The mom and the daughter are talking in the hallway, and the son isn't saying anything, just saying mom like a Stewie,
Mm-hmm.
mom, mommy. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, you want to tell her what's going on so she can understand the brevity of the, oh, please, son, I'm trying to talk to your sister. Mom, son, I'm trying to, like, oh my God.
It's so annoying.
How can someone, and then the daughter runs away, which is like the stupid decision. Why the hell would you do that? And then, finally, you need to see this. I'm like, oh God, every
it's like, oh, now you want to say it. Yeah.
Every single cliche in the book is in this movie, and it's just so annoying. Another thing that is just I kind of have to nitpick, and it's not really nitpick, is where did this homeless dude come from? They're in like the suburbs in a gated community up in the mountains.
He's been running for a while.
Yeah, like where did he come from? Like if he's from,
he's a track star.
Like where is he coming from? And then also, it takes the group that is hunting him down like 10 minutes to follow him. Like he could have easily gotten away. Like he technically got away. He just had to keep going. First off, how the hell they know he was up here in the middle of nowhere? And second off, how do they find? I know this says like the neighbors, like, hey, told you. Like, no. You're not making me believe that on Purge night that a bunch of random people are coming up to people's houses and you're just going to tell you, hey, yeah, that guy I saw, he went that way. Also, how did you even know that he was in this neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, that's stupid. But
no, I totally agree.
Another issue is that why did they cut the power? Like, why?
Yeah, like it doesn't serve a purpose other than it being spooky. Because it's not like they can open anything with like,
hey,
being
give
off.
us that homeless man. But now you can't get the doors open to give us the homeless man.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that too.
Speaking of which, this has got to be the shittiest security system I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, how do you make it to the top?
Yeah, like I was like, oh, things like this don't happen. Like, things like this don't happen in our neighborhood. So I'm like, so are you just? It's just for show. Like,
banking on it?
Yeah, you just banking. Like, I hope nothing crazy happens. It's just a purge.
It just looks sturdy, so people stay away from it. I'm like, what? That's it?
Yeah, like so you're telling me that a group of white college kids in a Toyota Tacoma can
Toyota Tacoma?
They had 3 Toyota Tacomas and a group of college white kids, and they absolutely decimated the $100 million security system that this man's been selling to everybody in town.
Yeah.
Like that's That how terrible is your security system that this is what it is? And then it's funny at the end of the movie, like a credit says like, oh yeah, what do you call it? Here, home security systems are up really high. You're telling me that didn't tank their stock?
Yeah. Oh, so true.
That's crazy. Also, there's one specific scene. It's the scene where the kid gets dragged into the basement, right? And then
Mhm.
Ethan Hawke's character comes in and shoots the guy like 5 times.
Dude, he doesn't even move. I saw that and I was gonna write it down, but I was like, no, that's something so tiny. But like, oh, it pissed me off.
It was so funny because he got shot like 4 times, right? And he doesn't move for like a solid like 3 seconds, right? And then on the 5th shot, he gets shot in like the shoulder or something, and that's when he falls and dies.
Dude, like what? I was like, that's not how that nope, that's not how that works.
And I laughed. I laughed out loud because I was like, oh, there's no way I did witness that.
Yep.
And I think the note I wrote was he forgot how to die. He was so surprised that he forgot how to get shot.
Yeah.
In the end, when the homeless man finally comes in, he has the element of surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wastes said element of surprise by having the stupid baby doll thing that he somehow found the remote control for in another room
So true.
go across the room and then just sneaks in and just walks up behind them. Doesn't get kind of like almost ruins the element of surprise just to take a woman hostage, shoot only one man, and then leave 3 other people.
Yeah.
Enough to overpower him. Apparently, he's supposed to be like a veteran, right? Because he's got the dog tags and stuff.
That's how you know.
That's how you know. How are you going to allow someone to have greater numbers than you? I don't know. Any combination would have been better than just unloading an entire clip into one person and then leaving 2 people with shotguns.
Yep. So true.
So I don't know. This movie it kind of, I want to say it pissed me off. It was just sad. Now, it was concept of the Purge, of it being a horror movie, I think is very unique. And I do think it would make for a great horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it was executed as this, and this is the first movie in the franchise, and it started a franchise somehow, and it did so well,
is surprisingly shocking.
Yeah, I'm baffled.
I was neither horrid nor thrilled.
Which is why I gave it a 1.5 out of 5.
That's higher than my rating.
Yeah, and I think I watched this movie a very long time ago, and yeah, that's what my rating was then, and it has not changed. And my review for the movie was something like The Strangers, but dumber dialogue and dumber decisions.
That's pretty good. So this was the only Purge that I've actually seen. I haven't seen any of the other Purges, and I think the last time I saw this Purge was when it first came out. So I was like 13 when it came out. So I was a lot more lenient on my ratings back then because apparently on Letterboxd I gave it 3 stars.
Damn.
No fucking way in hell. Yeah, I think I remembered wrong when I was rating it then because I gave it a 1 out of 5 this time around. A lot less lenient this time around, a lot more strict on my opinions. Basically ditto to what everything Isaiah said.
Yeah.
I could not stand Charlie. Every single thing he did pissed me off. Same with the daughter. Like every character just made every dumb move. And then I'm going to talk about Charlie for a little bit here. Like the thing that pissed me off the most was he was willing to get his entire family killed and the homeless guy. Yeah. And it's like, do you understand what's at stake here? It's like even Ethan Hawke said that he was like, it's us or them. It's like, yeah, kind of in this situation. You don't even know if this guy's actually innocent. Just because he's a homeless man doesn't mean he's a good guy. He could have killed people. You never know. So maybe he's done shady stuff afterwards. Who knows? We don't know this guy at all. I also found it very, very fucking hilarious when they're in the process of trying to wrap him up. And he's like, press on his wound. And then she just proceeds to fucking stab him with a fucking letter opener. I was like, that is not pressing on the wound. That is injuring the man way more.
You guys need to work on your communication.
Yeah. And she stabbed him twice. She took it back out and then went back in. I was like, damn. This
was not what I said.
It's not at all what's supposed to go on. I think the whole plot twist of the evil neighbors not actually being there to save them, but they're the ones that want to take him down. That was super predictable. I know I have seen the movie before, so I knew that happened. But like, even without knowing that, like, you can see it coming from a mile away just from the beginning, how she talks to her. It's just fucking weird.
So we saw our opportunity. I was like, really? You guys were just staring at the neighbor's house? Talking about how, man, I really want to kill them.
So weird. I think too that the 20,000 ex machinas within this film was ridiculous. It was like every single situation, they're like, what can we do to get out of this? Instead of like actually putting in an actual like plot and like having character arcs. They're like, no, we're just going to have this random person come in and save the day at the last minute. We haven't seen them for the last 30 minutes, but here they are, perfectly timed. So that was a big issue. I don't mind an ex machina here and there. Okay. I know a lot of people hate it because it's just an easy way to make shit happen. And I get that. And I'm not condoning it, but it's okay here and there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like, if it makes sense, then do it. Like, the first example I can think of is fucking Star Wars with, like, I'm thinking episode 6, where Luke Skywalker is like about to get fucking murked by the Emperor, and Darth Vader comes in at the last second and throws him over the edge. Like, in a sense, that's an ex machina, but it makes sense. It drives the character forward. It kind of finishes his character arc, and now he's like redeemed himself, and it makes sense. He saves his son. Like, it's not just some random person hopping in. Overall, yeah, I didn't understand how like nobody seemed to like, I don't know, care about, like understand the situation that was going on. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up today's episode?
Oh, before we end it, we should talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, guys, we saw we both have finally seen it.
That was a movie.
That was interesting. What did you think?
I'm not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I do know the lore a bit. Like, I'm like super delved into it. Like, I don't know everything. I just know like some of the meme stuff, like, oh, the Bite of 87 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And for people who want to see it, there is a plot twist at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, let's try not to spoil this one just because it's relatively new.
Yeah, I won't. Nice. We won't spoil it. But there is a plot twist at the end, which kind of answers some questions about the lore. But it was questions I didn't know existed. Yeah. And so I was kind of genuinely surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's not terrible. I mean, it's bad. It's if you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, it might probably like it.
You might like it
because it's so like dedicated to the lore. I kind of felt like it was just a very okay movie. Like, it wasn't really horror-esque.
Like, I played the first Five Nights at Freddy's. I played a couple of them just sporadically, but I've also never been really into the lore of it. But I understood most of the concept. It's a really cool concept. Like, it's a creepy concept. I just felt like they didn't, I don't know, it just didn't feel as serious and like as dark as it should have been. Like, it kind of was like funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really like it too much. And the acting was very bad.
Yeah, and then there's another thing of manufactured conflict of characters just not saying things just because they can't reveal it yet till the plot just dictates so.
So the camera shows it, yeah. I also think that Matt Pat's cameo is amazing. That is a spoiler. But that's just a theory. Which I'm kind of surprised Markiplier wasn't in it.
Apparently he was supposed to be. He was supposed to play the guard in the opening intro.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like a scheduling conflict, so he wasn't able to get in the movie.
Iron Lung,
I don't know. Maybe he'll be in the second one.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 2.5, I think was my rating for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, you gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2. Okay.
I also gave it a 2. Okay, that sounds right.
Oh, okay, so okay.
Not bad. It's kind of meh, but
Yeah, it's not like, it wasn't like I watched it and I was like, God, that was awful. It was more just like, yeah, I'm fine never seeing this again. It's just kind of like exists.
Yeah, it did make a lot of money though.
The animatronics were impressive, I will say.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Be sure to follow us on Instagram so you get any and all updates regarding the show. And while you're at it, if you'd like to send us some of your favorite or even least favorite movie suggestions, then you can send those on in at silverscreensips@gmail.com for our listeners episode. And we will see you all next week with the Purge Anarchy 2014.
Anarchy. Make sure to share the show around. Send it to your mom. Send it to your grandmother.
Maybe not grandma. Unless she's cool like that.
She's down.
She's down to cool. Nope. Yikes. Bye, guys. Oh, Jesus Christ.